this, I feel like, well, what's new? I think some people might be mad at what I'm about to say about this situation, but I'm just going to say it. But I'll wait till we get some more ladies in here and then we can talk about it. Okay. All right. Yeah. Let's see here. Okay. Okay. All right, ladies. I'll just go ahead and start talking, and hopefully some ladies will come in. So I don't know if anybody's heard about this Danish deception or whatever. This black woman that met this guy and in Denmark or whatever, and he was like a scammer. And my thing is that first of all, I don't feel like this white T man. Let me say this. I don't feel like this black woman would have ever got bamboozled or hoodwinked by this man if he was not white T. And I think that is a problem with at least 50% of women that pursue white T men, that for some reason they think that as opposed to all men possibly being scum, that white T means they're not going to be on no BS. White T men are going to treat you better. And that's exactly what I see a lot in black women. Even sometimes they come on my page and be like, white men treat you better than black men and all this other stuff. And this isn't to big ups black men at all. So I don't want anybody to misconstrue that. This is just to say that men in general, you got to watch out for. Men in general, you got to make sure that, you know what I'm saying, you know what type of time that they're on, that they'll play you. A white T man will play you, a black man will play you, a white T Hispanic will play you, an Asian man will play you. All of these men will play you if you don't make sure that you know who you're dealing with. And you make sure that you are not being thirsty. Because clearly, I feel like by the way she was telling the story, she was thirsty. One, and number two, she has self-hatred issues, period. Anytime you're a black woman, right, and you describe somebody, you say, oh my gosh, I thought he was so hot. Like, why wouldn't anybody think he's hot? He's tall, blonde hair, blue eyes. As a descriptor, as a dark-skinned black woman, ew. What are you talking about, blonde hair, blue eyes? Is that what you think is the pinnacle of beauty? Being a monoracial, dark-skinned black woman? Are you nuts? And then my thing is that I do feel like I hate it whenever time I put something. But imagine if a black man said that. The world would be going crazy. If he said, yeah, I saw her. She was fine. You know what I'm saying? Why wouldn't I think she was fine? She's blonde hair, blue eyes. He would be every raccoon under the sun. So I don't understand. Like, that right there let me know her mind state off the rip right there. She was desperate and thirsty, you know what I'm saying, for this white T man or whatever. And that's how she got. Because ain't no way in the world, you mean to tell me I'm supposed to be out here dating a white T man who's supposed to be a baller with privilege, and you want me to loan you 6 racks? What? You want me to give you $6,000? What? Now I can guarantee you if that man looked like her, she would have never gave him $1 or a dime. And she definitely wouldn't have gave. And even if you look at some of the beginning of the story, like as she's speaking and the way she speaks about him, like I feel like she's still in delusion. Like, oh, we had this connection. Oh, it was electric. No, it was electric for you, baby. You was a lick from the very beginning. There are plenty of white men, and I wish black women would understand this. Plenty of black white men that know that black women feel some type of way about the way they're treated by black men. And that how black men collectively treat black women. They know black women are looking for love. They know black women are looking for somebody to be into them and to treat them right and to treat them like a queen. And they prey on that. Not that they plan on treating you better as a white T-man. They just realize you're not getting it. So they're going to manipulate you and make you feel that way until they can get whatever it is that they want from you. Whether that be money, whether that be smacks, whatever that may be. You know what I'm saying? And that's something I really wish that a lot of black women that are not messing with black men, which is not a problem. Not saying anything about that, but that's something I wish they would realize. Honestly and truly. Because I can't tell you how many black women that have unfollowed me, cussed me out, went off on me, and said, you know what I'm saying? Because I just simply said that white T men and black men are no different. Like every man has the capability to treat you poorly or treat you well. And yeah. So I think that this is, like I said, a big, big, big thing that I really would like us as women to discuss, because there were so many red flags that this woman ignored. So many. And I don't understand how you didn't know the first game being ran. Anytime a man comes to you and starts talking about, oh man, I don't know how I'm going to get the money to get this. Oh, I don't know. I'll figure it out. Cause my money just ain't working. I just can't do such and such. Even if he doesn't ask you at that time, he's definitely finna ask you in a day or two, even maybe a week, to do a playoff like that's not what he's on. Anytime a man asks you for money like that, okay? I wish I would let a white T man ask me for some money. If you don't get out of here, where's your white privilege at, sir? What? Exactly, Toya. He's setting up the play, Toya. It's crazy. Let's see here. Moni, you said, her best friend made a video, said, oh, it's basically naive and trust everyone. You know what? I can't give her that grace, Moni, because I really do believe that if he was black, she wouldn't have did that. I just don't believe it. Just the way she speaks, the cadence in her voice that she uses, the way she presents, I really truly believe that if he was black, she never would have did it. She never would have did it, ever. And yeah, I think that's crazy, but that's just my opinion though, y'all. Let me let the lady speak. Go ahead, Gabrielle.
Yeah, good morning, host. I saw this story like swirling around, I think, on either Facebook or Twitter, but I really do think that's unfortunate. I, as a woman, don't think women should ever give men money. I'm sorry, I just don't think it should happen. So this guy, he was a scammer. I know that he's kind of out of money, but like, what was the backstory?
She was on a trip and they ended up catching eyes or whatever, and he ended up running game on her and borrowing hundreds of $1,000s from her friends and family and her, and had a gambling addiction and all of this other stuff. Basically, he just got with her to use her. But I think that he recognized that she is in my opinion, and just like I have the Cynthia G had the saying, I think she's the one that coined it, black male worshiper. I think that she's a white male worshiper. And there are black women that are white male worshipers, and I think that's what she is. And I think that's what happened to her. Her white male worship. And yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, no, okay, yeah, no, that's so helpful. I think that it's really sad. I mean, if this man can travel and do all this stuff, then that he should not be asking any woman for money. And if he's saying stuff like, oh, my bank cards aren't working, all of that is, that is his thing to work out. I really don't think she should have given him money. I mean, and it's like like hundreds of thousands of dollars to me, like that's insane. I didn't know it was that much, but I mean, yeah, I mean this any I okay, so I saw something online. It said that if a man asks you for money as a woman, he does not like you, and I really do believe that. I think if you as a man do not have your finances in order, you shouldn't be dating, period. And I definitely think with this guy, it was a scam. Someone in the comments actually mentioned, I think, the Tindler Swindler. There is an entire Netflix series of this man who was running through women and conning them out of money and would use all
Gabrielle,
kinds of excuses about, yeah,
Gabrielle, it's so
yeah.
funny you bring up the Tindler Swindler because she said she watched that and still got okie
She
doke.
watched it.
Yes.
Oh my God. I didn't, wow. I did not know that. Like wow. I mean, like, why did she give him, like, I know he came up with like, oh, my bank cards, like my loans, whatever, but like, why did she give this man money? Like, I, like, why did she do it? I don't understand.
Yeah, Gabrielle. I mean, she said she did it because she wanted to help him and they were a team and he was her dream man and all this stuff. And me personally, I did see him without a shirt on. You know, his body is cool, but I don't even think he's cute though, facial wise. So I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. But yeah, she did say that she watched it. So I just can't even believe that she would be that stupid. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. I just don't feel any sympathy for her. And I think it's because I feel like a lot of why she did what she did is because she's a white male worshiper and also a pick me too. And I don't feel sorry for white male worshipers. I don't feel sorry for black male worshipers. And I don't feel sorry for pick me's for the most part because in 2025, really, what are you doing? What are you doing? And like I said, as a black woman, I think she's Nigerian. As a Nigerian woman, yeah, not gonna try to be funny. Why are you giving this man money? You don't know to play. Come on now, foolish, foolish.
Yeah, I'm just surprised. Oh,
Oh, go
I'm
ahead.
sorry.
No, go ahead, sis.
No, I promise I'll wrap up because I know other people. There are like three other people on the panel, so I'll be quick. But I'm just surprised that she watched the Tindler Swindler because, like, I don't know a whole lot about this story, but it just seems like the things that this man was saying. It just seems like an identical match for the Tindler Swindler, and like someone else in the comments said it. And I will just close out by saying, if a man asks you for money, he does not like you. Don't give him money. Whether he talks about my credit card expired, my like whatever, like no, like that man needs to figure that out. Please don't ever give men money. So yeah, I will land my plane there for now.
All right, I got you. I got you, sis. Let me go up here to Unwritten. Go ahead,
Hey
Unwritten.
y'all, hey girly.
Hey.
Yeah, as a Nigerian pick me, that's what this needs to now be called because there's a cultural difference that it just keeps popping up. It just keeps popping up of their relationship to whiteness and yes, she's definitely a white male worshiper. But I think it's important to note when she first started off, I could only make it to episode 6. I couldn't do it. After she was begging essentially to give him money. Like it wasn't even I don't think people catch like he didn't actually ask for money. She offered several times and was insistent about it. And he obviously was like, okay, yeah. He knew that she was not used to being picked by a white man. Yes, she offered. He knew that she was not used to a certain experience. And this is why, like, I think it's very important for women to take yourselves to high-end hotels, restaurants, shopping, buy yourself something of luxury at least once, you know what I mean? So that you may not necessarily be used to it, but you're not impressed by it. It's not something that's going to wow you and be like, oh my God, $1,000 a night hotel. Like, I'm so grateful. Like, and apparently you are a realtor. Like, you can afford $1,000 a night, at least just one night a year, right? And so just, take yourself on these experiences so that when a man comes and presents it, you don't necessarily fall in love with the lifestyle, you've done it already. You know what I mean? But it's another thing too, at the beginning, she kept saying how she didn't want to be mistaken for a gold digger. And it's so unfortunate how the brainwashing has happened to a lot of women where they actually think that that is a real thing. Anything you get from a man will never be enough for what usually women give to men. Like, you literally give men legacy, like whole life, something that cannot be quantified and cannot be, it's priceless. So no amount of money a man ever gives you is enough to equate to what you actually give him. So you would never, gold digger does not exist. All that word is just to try and shame women who actually benefit in any way from a man. They want you to be with men and have no benefit. And having a financial benefit is something that is at least tangible. That's the least you can do is make sure that you are financing anything that she desires. So that's another thing. That's another brainwashing that I think, a lot of pick-me's have, where they're, very concerned about the optics around. No, don't be afraid of him giving you money. Be afraid of you giving him money. Now land there.
All right, I got you unwritten. Appreciate you, sis. I will say that when he had told her that in the stories that I watched, because I watched like 10, and then I went to the end and I watched a few on the back end because it was just too much stupidity. I couldn't take it. But she had said that he had told her that he was having problems and his money wasn't coming through. He wasn't able to do it, but she didn't have to. I think he put the idea in her head knowing that probably eventually she would just offer it and he would say no a few times and then he would accept it from her. Or if she never took the bait, he would just wait a little while and come and say, I hate to ask you this. I think he put the play on there for her to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because she basically, when she started saying, I just want you to know, like, I'm not here for the money. I'm here for you. And if you ever need me, you ever need anything, I'm okay to help out financially. And he's like, oh no, it's not going to come to that. Like, and she kept trying to reiterate, I don't want you for your money. I'm willing to pay for things. She kept trying to offer paying for things, like, because she was very afraid of being seen as this quote unquote gold digger. So he knew he had a lick. Like, he knew he had a lick, that she was so, one, she was a pick me, and she's so desperate for his attention, and she's willing to do anything, willing to pay for it. Literally willing to pay for it.
I agree. All right, let me go up here next to Micah. Go ahead, Micah.
Hey, I don't even know where to start, girl. I actually sat and listened to all 27 parts. It's because I'm not working right now, y'all, so I just got a lot of time on my hands. So, oh my God. So he's initially telling her, how rich, that he is and stuff like that. So when he's turning around asking you for $6,000, that wasn't a red flag to you, honey bun? Like, come on, let's put two and two together. And the fact that in all 27 parts, they're just jet setting around the world while she's talking about how she doesn't have any money. She's running out of money. But I'm telling you, in every single part, they are traveling somewhere, either back and forth, between his home country. They're going to Ibiza, Cartagena. They went to Spain. You're doing all of this traveling. And at one point, she's like paying like for all of this. And I think it's absolutely crazy the amount of red flags she set to the side. And honestly, in the end, when she does end up, finally he left her. And I think that if he had not actually gotten on that plane and left, we wouldn't even be hearing this story. Because I think she would have stayed with him and still tried to make it work. Because I feel like that's how desperate she was to live in some type of a fairy tale. And host, I actually agree with you as well. I think that there's definitely some inner self-hatred going on there too. If you've seen any pictures of like her inner circle and her friends, they are almost all, I don't think I've seen, in other than like her family, I don't think I've seen a black friend yet. And I think that, plays heavily into, what's going on here too. And the crazy part is that she had a job and he
left her, Micah?
Huh?
I I thought that she left him once he got exposed. He left her, Micah.
He and the last two, he ends up leaving. Like when they get into it again about him relapsing into gambling. I don't think he ever quit. But yeah, he got on the plane and actually left her. He left her, and then now she does end up filing for the divorce and everything. But he actually got back on the plane and left and went back home. So in the end, he was the one that left her, but she was trying to convince him to stay. She took his passport and his green card at one point, but he was able to get like something temporary at the airport, so he was still able to go ahead and travel back home. And I think she ended up sending him his passport like later on. Like she was trying to get everything in her power to get him to stay. And like I said, I honestly believe that he would have stayed, or she would have stayed with him, and we would never have heard this story if he had never gotten back on that plane in the end and left for good.
Oh my goodness, that's so crazy. That is so crazy. I saw a video that somebody put up of her and him. She was in a golf cart with him, and he was driving. And okay, I'm not trying to compare a black woman to an animal, so I don't want anybody to misconstrue my words. But the way that she was looking when she was riding in the golf cart with him is the same way that my mini schnoodle looks at me when I went to the store and come back. Or when I sit on the couch and she's trying to jump on my lap or something like that. Like just completely like this is the center of your entire world. And I feel like I don't feel like you should do that as a woman. Like, first of all, not like that. I'm not saying don't for anybody to twist my words again. I'm not saying you shouldn't love your husband or your man, your fiance, your boyfriend, whatever that is. But that type of what I saw in her, that was deeply, deeply disturbing. Okay, that was deeply, deeply disturbing. And she just looked so, I don't know. Like I don't know. It was giving me low self-esteem. Okay.
She looked proud. She
Yeah,
was
yeah, like
very
I got this
proud.
white tea man.
Yes.
And look at me, look what I've done. Look at this. And I do think a lot of it was rooted in his skin color too. But let me keep going here. Thanks so much, Micah. Because I didn't even know what you said, girl. Thank you. Let me go up here to Nora, I think. Go ahead, Nora. If you had something to say, let me send you a request to turn your mic on. Nora, you there?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I'm at work. I'm gonna be very low in my voice. I'm also from Africa. I've only lived in America for like 6 years. So first thing I want to say is the age difference. The man is 15 years older than her. He should be the one spending on her instead of the other way around, because that age difference is so huge for a man to be begging for money from a woman. And then the second thing I notice is that she keeps saying that he is so smart. He swindled all those people. The guy is not even smart. He was using the weakest scam tricks. Like anybody can notice his scam tricks. I mean, the Tinder swindler was actually someone who was a really smart swindler, because that guy was putting those ladies on a private jet, sending them off to other countries on a private jet. It was so easy to scam those ladies because he put them on a private jet. But this guy, he wasn't a smart swindler. He didn't even fly her on a private jet. I can bet he didn't even fly her in business class the first time he flew her to, I don't know if it was, I don't know, wherever in Europe. And then the third thing I noticed is that she lost it with a lot of people. Specifically for me, she lost it when she started talking down on the 3 or 4 that he was seen with. Like, girl, you need to be a girl's girl, because the 3 or 4 is also a woman like you. And if she was seen with him, she should have a sympathy that, maybe he was also trying to swindle another woman. But she was talking down on the 3 or 4, like, oh, she's the one, she's not even a 10. At least the 3 or 4 got paid, at least he spent on the 3 or 4. And like you, he kept spending your money. The fourth thing I want to say is no accountability. At least with Risa Tisa, we all rallied for her, supported her because she took accountability. But this girl doesn't want to take any accountability. She just keeps blaming it. Oh, he was addicted. Oh, his family didn't tell me. To be honest with you, I don't think gambling addiction is even the biggest problem here. I don't even think the gambling addiction exists at this point. I think it was just a way of him getting away with paying back all the money that he owes the people. And also, she keeps talking about she wants to see him arrested.
I'll
To be
give you one
honest
more
with
minute.
you,
I'll
mhm,
give you one more minute, sis. Go ahead.
okay, she keeps talking about she's gonna get him arrested. To be honest with you, that man is gonna get away with paying back the money because all the money he was borrowing from people, it looks like they didn't put it on paper. The only person that put the money he borrowed on paper was the Danish guy that he borrowed 30K from. Looks like he's the only one who put it on paper and got collateral for him borrowing money. And he's the only one who can get his money back in court. The rest, her family, her sisters, friends, looks like they're not going to get the money back because it was not on paper. And then my last advice to ladies, when you meet a man who brags about his money or property that he owns, your next move is to start asking him for money. And believe me, if he doesn't have it, he's going to run. So anyway, that's it for me. Bye, ladies.
All right, I got you. I got you. I appreciate you so much, Nora. Let me go up here next to Sharifa. Go ahead, Sharifa. Let
Hi,
me know if
lady.
I said your name correctly.
You did. Thank you.
Okay,
So
okay.
I actually watched all of the episodes or the videos, and it was very disturbing, but it was also just like a masterclass in why it's so important to vet and standards. And just going off of what Nora said, had she, when he said that, oh, I have a job that I'm making $400,000, had she simply asked, is that in USD or Croatian? I think he's Croatian, which the exchange rate means that that $400,000 salary is actually 60,000 pounds. She would have ended it right then and there. Do you see what I'm saying? And then on top of that, he said he owned real estate. And then come to find out, his family was like, after she first of all, she got married to him after she got married to him before she even met his family. So his family ended up telling her that he didn't even have those real estate properties that he said that he had. And so another issue was that she fell in love basically after a month of knowing him, and they were just having phone conversations because they were long distance. So all of that alone was a red flag for me. And so when they had got back together a month later to go on vacation, he had manufactured this crisis. Like basically, she didn't specifically say that this is what happened, but a lot of women in the comments were like, wow, did he like date rape her? Like, because she came from dinner, felt woozy, and collapsed on the stairs. And then she kind of woke up a little bit, and then she woke back up the next time in the hospital. And so basically she was like, oh my gosh, you saved my life. And then they confessed their love for each other in the hospital. And so from then on, he would manufacture crisis after crisis. And I don't think she just had the time to put two and two together, nor the I guess the dating experience to put two and two together, that she was being basically romance scammed. And then it just continued to go downhill from there. And then so once he got into her circle, because he eventually moved to Dallas, he scammed her friends out of $200,000. He got her for $50,000, and then he was taking her parents and everybody else for 2-3 grand here and there. And so it ended up being $300,000 in all.
Ridiculous,
It was
ridiculous.
disturbing. What'd you say?
I just said ridiculous.
Yeah.
Are
Yeah.
you
And so
okay?
go
Oh
ahead.
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
So I guess the last thing I'll say is that also she was giving him wife privileges as a girlfriend, and because she would, after she was in too deep, she was just like, oh well, we're a team and we're a partnership. No ma'am, y'all are not partners as girlfriend and boyfriend. And so she just lost herself and lost the plot, and then she ended up in a situation where I think now she might be facing lawsuits and criminal charges because, even though she claims she didn't know, they were on vacation once or twice per video, all up until video 22, 23, and it only had 27 installments. They were on vacation once or twice within each video. So guess what? In a court of law, she could probably be liable criminally and civilly for paying this money back to all these people. So you have to be very, very careful.
All right, I got you. Thank you so much, Sharifa.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me go next up here to B. Go ahead, B. Let me start your timer.
Hi.
Hey.
Thank you for so much for accepting my request. I just wanted to say that at first, so I'm seeing a lot of different topics pop up about how people are perceiving what she's saying. At first, I didn't perceive it as a racial thing. They're calling her a white worshiper or something like that. I didn't perceive it as that. And then as the story was going on, I did start to think like, is this because he's a white man? Because she just kept letting him get away with too much. And it's like she kept having this conversation with him about lying. And I mean, my ears perked up when he did, mention to her about his financial issues. I just think, anytime, you just meet someone and they start talking to you about their financial problems and trying to, their grievances, they want something from you. And a man should never be coming to you with his financial problems like that. And so that's where I was like, I knew she was going to send him the money because that was the whole objective of this whole series. What really turned me off about her, though, was when she found out that he swindled her friends out of $200,000 and really wasn't going to pay them back. And she's like, we had a meeting, we talked about it, we set up a payment plan. And I said, so that makes it okay? Are you missing what he did to them? It's not about, it's a payment plan or whatever. He stole from your friends. And then in the midst of all that, they planned a whole expensive trip somewhere else on her dime. And her friends are the MVPs because how I would never stay friends with someone. You owe me $200,000 and you're going on trips. What? It was very, she didn't want to see the writing on the wall. She kept trying to make excuses. I think the ridiculous part is at the end, her family, she ended up talking to his family at the end, and his family did say, well, he did have an addiction. She's like, well, why didn't you tell me? Why would his family be, what were they going to say at the coffee table? Like, oh, did you know he had an addiction? Who would do that? They don't know you from Adam. You don't know them. Why would you be relying on someone you don't know? Everybody is saying the information he gave her was stuff that you could look up, which is true. So, I think she needs to take the L. I think she thought she was going to come off and get some deal like Risa Tisa, but she really looks stupid in this situation. I'm seeing all the Instagram pictures and stuff like that and more about her background. Cause I kept saying too, like, what friends would loan their friend's man $10,000 or $6,000? I think that does bring up a cultural difference too. If all of her friends are white, cause all my friends, even my sister would definitely tell me your man came and asked me for some money. Because, who does that? That's like rule number one. Like, my man should not be asking you for money ever. So I see why the cultural conversation is coming up and who is she around. I also saw the pictures and it's definitely giving infatuated with his looks and the idea and not really accepting the reality. From far away, he is attractive by society's standards, but when you look at him in the face, there's something sketchy about him. I did not know that he was 15 years older. That makes it even worse. I thought they were around the same age. But she, I think she, and I heard that she's coming after Black women for, what they're saying, but it's like,
I'll give you one more minute.
Okay, that's her problem. She needs to learn how to take accountability and not blame other people, because she put that on herself at the end of the day. And he ended up, to give you context, at the end, she was asking him for money that he owed her parents. And he was like, oh, I don't have to deal with this. He came up on something else and was like, I don't need you anymore. I got my green card. I got a job where I'm going to get paid $1 million as a CEO. I'm going back to Denmark, and left her. He left her and she was begging for him at the end. The end is wild than the whole series. So I land my plane. That's it. Thank you so much for your time.
Oh, no problem. No problem, B. I appreciate you. And let me just say this again, y'all. I do think that there was a heavy racial component to it. Like I said, anytime a black woman, and this goes for a black man too, when you're describing somebody, you say, of course, yeah, they were hot, you know, their blonde hair, blue eyes, of course, that's self-hatred there, period. Like, I don't care what nobody says, that's self-hatred right there. That is a very large tale. And I really do believe the reason why he was able to get away with the majority of the things that he did to her was because he was a white man, and she felt like, oh my gosh, I'm validated. Look at me with this white man. This makes me somebody, and this validates my existence. And that's a very dangerous thing to do as a black woman, because once again, I would love black women to know this. White men know the dynamics between black men and black women. They are not fools. They have phones just like you do. They have the internet just like you do. People don't defend black women and protect black women when they see black women being drugged for filth, you know, by black men and the men in our community. But they see that because of that, there are a lot of black women in need of validation, and they don't feel like they can get that from black men. So they look for that validation outside in other races of men. And white men know that. They know that. That's why a lot of white men on TikTok, soon as they want some views, soon as they want some money, what do they start talking about? Oh, I love chocolate. I love me a chocolate. And you go in, their following list is nothing but white women and Asian women and white Latinas, because they know that black women are in need of something. And there are a lot of smart white men that will use that and prey on it. And then if you add self-hatred to the mix, like this woman has, deep internalized self-hatred, that makes you the biggest lick of all time, you know? But let me just keep going. I think this person, Bliss, go ahead, Bliss. Go ahead.
Hi
I'll start your
everyone.
timer. Hey.
Okay, good. I won't take long. So I'm actually Nigerian, and honestly, what other callers have said, you guys are absolutely correct. So the part I want to like really emphasize on is she's Nigerian and she's Igbo, and culturally, from where she comes from, men they raise the women that to be able to understand that men should be the provider. So why she went ahead giving this man money, letting this man play in her face, letting this man
You a little
scam her.
muffled. You a little muffled, sis.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was using my headphones. So I was saying I'm Nigerian and she's also Nigerian. And culturally, like they raise the women from our part of Nigeria to see men as providers. So basically, I'm just emphasizing that what everyone has been saying on this call is correct. The glorification of whiteness, the fact that she was with this type of man and it kind of looked good on the outside. And that was why she was doing all what she was doing. Knowing full well that where we come from, we don't like, they raise this particular set of women to see men as providers. So I think she was just a pick me in this whole situation. And I feel like she just let this man get away with all this, because I don't think if it was the other way round, she would have let, like, if it was a Nigerian, let me say Nigerian Igbo guy, I'm not sure she would have let a lot of what happened slide. So basically, I'm just saying she just let this, I don't want to say she did it on purpose or she let this man just play in her face, but I'm saying I feel like the glorification of whiteness, the fact that they had these cultural differences and she wanted to look good on papers, like what we people perceive her as on the outside looking in. I feel like she just let him get away with so many things. And yeah, so everyone has really said a lot. I just wanted to kind of emphasize more culturally that she's not supposed to do that, because culturally we are raised not to, like, men should provide. Like, I'm not saying women don't work for their money or whatever, but she doing all this is just like, it's a little bit odd. So that's where most, Nigerian women in the comment section are like, you let this man get away with this, like, it's amazing. So that's all I just wanted to contribute. Thank you.
All right, I got you, Bliss. Appreciate you, sis. All right, let me go up here to Coco. Go ahead, Miss Coco. I'll start your timer.
Hi.
Hey.
So I just wanted to give my thought. Also, another thing that I think is the issue here is a lot of women, when they meet men and because they have a nice watch or they drive a nice car or they Google the guy's net worth and they're like, oh my God, he's worth this amount of money, they assume that that's true. They assume that that's cash in their bank account. And a lot of women fail themselves because what a man has does not mean that it's true. It doesn't mean that he's going to like give you the money. I think what she failed to do, which is what I would do, would be when she was in Monaco and he asked her to pick whatever it is that she wanted, her first thing to do was to buy anything and everything that she could get him to buy to assess how much money he actually had in his bank account and how much money he was actually willing to spend on her. Women always seem to assume that, oh, okay, he drives a Ferrari, so that means that he's worth a lot of money. I have met some really, I guess, they look expensive. I've met some guys that look really expensive, but they're cheap. They might be scammers. They might be anything in the book. And I think that plays a huge role into Black women that are dating into this lifestyle, because I do like the soft girls, soft lifestyle thing as well. Women meet men outside and they're like, oh my God, Coco, but he has a Ferrari, so he's worth millions of dollars. He's going to give me that. I'm like, no, that's not true. A man's value to you is only based on the amount of money that he can take out of his pocket and give to you. So number one, she missed that mark. And then he started asking her for money. That alone, blocked, delete, done for, because he's not spending money on you, but you are giving him money. You know what I mean? So I do think that that is a huge issue in this whole situation. And that's all I have to say.
Sorry, my my mute button was like going crazy. I was like trying to unmute. I said, all right, I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Coco. All right, let me go up here next to let's see here, Afia. Let me know if I said that right. If I said it wrong, let me know.
Yes, and I'm gonna be very, very brief. I watched the whole thing, and I was even sympathetic with people were dogging her about, oh, you gave him your passport, and I'm like, well, he was booking a flight, so I even understood that. But what threw me and what I'm not understanding why more people aren't talking about this is the fact that when they were going back to her homeland and he wanted to bring his fake Rolex, and she was like, oh no, you can't wear that, you'll get robbed. And I'm like, you wondering why people perceive you the way that they do when you perceive yourself that way. And then to come on here and be like, well, I'm getting all this hate from Black people. And it's like, you started it because you, to me, and it's just my opinion, but it gives self-hate. Like, why would the first, and mind you, he was the one doing all the robbing and the Rolex was fake anyway. But why would the first thing you say to him when he goes to grab a Rolex is, oh no, don't wear that, you're going to get robbed? And I'm like, okay, that's a little weird. But yeah, that was the only thing I had to say. That was the most appalling thing that I've seen throughout the whole series.
Okay, all right, I got you, Afia. I'd say I definitely think there was self-hatred involved for sure. But I think I've already said that. I got it up there at the top. So let me go next to here, LBRI. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. I'm also Nigerian American, and the entire situation is just mind-boggling. It's a shame. It's extremely disappointing, but okay, so you have to contextualize this. She was somebody who was on the Bachelor franchise. A lot of people do not know that, or maybe they do now, but she was on Bachelor in Paradise. Bachelor in Paradise, I don't know if people know how it works, but she self-eliminated because none of the white men were checking for her. Like, normally the men are aggressively pursuing you to get your rose to stay on another week. Even if they don't like you, they'll still go after you, just to like stay another week, get to know more girls, etc. And none of them even cared to get to know her because that's how much they were not checking for her. Regardless, so she left. So I think her self-esteem was in the gutter. And then also, if you look into her family, I'm sorry, let's just call it what it is. It's extremely whitewashed. Her older sister is a medical doctor who got married to a white guy who's a chef. Nigerian parents ordinarily would not let their daughter marry a chef of, I'm sorry, no offense to chefs. I don't think he's one of those like high-level chefs. But if you were a Nigerian guy, they're not letting her marry a Nigerian chef. Secondly, her younger sister, it's out there, but if you go to her younger sister's IG page, it's public. Every single picture of her younger sister is with either a group of white women or herself with like a white girl. So the entire family, there's like she's coming out now saying like it has nothing to do with race. Black women do this too with black men. That's just deflection. And I hate that she's doing that. That like, oh, black women do this with black men. No, in your own case, we're talking about you because you put it out there. It was 1,000% about race because the entire family has some warped interaction with their blackness. I don't know why, but that's just what it is. I mean, your older sister, your younger sister, you now, there's a pattern there. There's honestly a pattern. So that's just what it boils down to. I don't think she would have, all senses would have gone out the door had it been with the Nigerian man. She would not have gone this far, or like a black American man or any other race, really. So that's all of that should be taken into consideration. Like I said, she was on The Bachelor. If you're going on The Bachelor to begin with, the season she went on, this was like 6-7 years ago. There were hardly any black people on there. You go on Bachelor in Paradise, all the men are white. I mean, again, patterns. So it's so unfortunate. I hope she bounces back, but there were just too many red flags. And I guess some people got to learn the hard way. It's sad.
All right, I got you. I appreciate you, sis. I didn't know the layer to what you said about the strict association with like white tea women. I feel like if you're a black woman and you have if you are a black woman and you have a deep connection with white tea women to the point to where those are your main associates, I already know something isn't right with you in your head, respectfully. No offense, but if that's who you feel connected to and drawn to, that you want to spend your time with, white women, I already know that you're mentally unstable and insane because I'm sorry. I really do. As a black woman, are you crazy? Like that to me, that would say it all right there. That would let me know that you're a dangerous Negro, honestly. But let me keep going. Let me go because really, out of all the people you can hang out with as a black woman, you want to hang out with the whites and you want to hang out with the white women? Like, okay, all right. I know you are unhinged. You're unhinged, and yes, you are mentally unstable. Yes, that's what I said. IFYC. Yes, you're mentally unstable. I will stand by that. I won't take it back. I wholeheartedly believe that. If those are your main associates, that as a black woman, there's something wrong with you mentally. Because there's no way you're not on the receiving end of microaggressions on a regular basis, whether you're smart enough to realize it or not. So if you're doing that, yes, there's something wrong with you. You're out of touch with reality and you need some help. Let me go down here to Gabrielle. Do you have something to say, Gabrielle?
Yeah, I'm just astounded the more that I listen to this story. Like I said, I really like briefly saw a little bit about it on other social media, so I did not know that she was offering him money. And then someone in the comments said that she, I guess, tried to take his passport to prevent him from leaving. I guess for me, I just don't understand what the need to cling onto this man so hard, this like desperation to hold on to him.
Gabrielle, I'm sorry. I just had to interject real quick. Because I want to respond to somebody in the comments that said, how is someone mentally unstable if they have white tea friends? I really would like y'all to not misunderstand me. I didn't say if you had a white tea friend. I said if your friend circle is you're a black person and your friend circle is exclusively white. If you're a black woman and the majority or all of your friends are white tea women, yes, there's something wrong with you. So you that said in the comments, oh, I guess I must be crazy. If all of your associates are white women, yes, you're crazy. You're nuts. If all of the people that you hang around are only white people and you're a black person, yes, there's something wrong with you. You are a self-hating raccoon. I'm not going to take it back. I don't care how many comments that y'all leave down there. You are participating in coonery, period. Because in what world, what do you find in common with white people that all of your circle is nothing but white people? Ew, what's wrong with you? Does anybody remember Tamala Horsford, the black woman that had only white friends that went on a sleepover with nothing but white women and wound up unalived? And they know that those white tea people did it. and they didn't get in any trouble, or the black guy that was in medical school that was hanging out with nothing but white people, went to some lake or whatever and ended up drowned and unalive, or the one that almost ended up unalived and drowned. There's so many different stories of this. They are not your friends, and you can lie to yourself and be delusional and think that if you'd like to, but anti-blackness is real. Racism is real. White supremacy is real. The entitlement that they have is real. You cannot be brainwashed from birth that you are superior to a group of people and then deal with those people fairly. It's impossible to do that because you cannot, because you have been indoctrinated since birth that you are superior, and that's going to rear its ugly head in some way, shape, or form or fashion. So if you are a black person and you feel comfortable with them, it's because either you ignore the microaggressions or you have internalized it because you are a self-hating raccoon. And it's really just that simple. I don't know how that's difficult to understand, but this right here, the fact that we are actually talking about a white man that preyed on a black woman because he could recognize that lack of racial self-esteem, that he smelled that self-hatred on her. The fact that y'all are in here, these people advocating for white people, lets me know how deeply, deeply sick some of you are racially. Honestly, you're sick in the head. Because I can guarantee you, if it was white people talking about a black woman or a black man that had done this activity here, there wouldn't be any positive comments regarding black people at all from any black people, any white people in the chat. And that's what I'm saying. Like, the fact that you even feel the need to advocate for white people here means that you're sick. I really think some of y'all really need to like make an appointment with that lady, because honestly, what's wrong with you? Anyway, let me just keep going, because what's wrong with some of y'all? I just don't understand it. I can't comprehend it. Like, there are so many books that you could read to unpack your internalized self-hatred, but yet you choose to use your internet to still try to protect and defend and uplift white people? Boy, okay. Go ahead, Gabrielle. I'm sorry, sis. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's fine. No, I was just gonna say okay, so like I saw someone in the comments earlier, and they said that I guess she at some point volunteered to give him money, and then when he was gonna leave, she tried to take his passport, but he was able to get an emergency passport. And I guess for me, I'm just not grasping why she wanted to hold on to this man so desperately. I don't understand it. Like, I don't understand what it was that she was willing to give him thousands of dollars, that her friends and family were willing to give him thousands of dollars. Someone in the comments said that he collectively got $200K. I'm just not getting what it is. And like, I just feel like if you're dating a guy, he should be the one, who is, giving you stuff. He should be the one who is like, paying for dates and, opening doors and doing all that stuff. I just feel like that's just something a guy should do. And this man was not doing that. So I don't understand why she wanted him. And I mean, I'm kind of like almost at a loss for words, because it just seems like all of this stuff that she was doing for him, like, I'm not getting it. I get that he said that he told her that she was wealthy, but honestly, even a man just saying the words, "Oh, I'm wealthy, I have money," like that in and of itself is kind of a red flag. Because it's like, I feel like if men who are really wealthy, they don't have to verbally tell you that they are wealthy or have money. It's just not something they would do. So is this on Netflix? Like, do you know like where I can watch this? Because I'm
Oh
just...
no, it's just a series on TikTok. If you look up Danish Deception, her videos will pop up.
Go to her
I
page
thought
and then
this was
start
like
from part
streaming or a show. Okay, I'm gonna have to try to find it. But yeah, I'm just okay. Yeah, I'll wrap up because I know only got a minute left. But I really just do genuinely feel like if you're dating a guy, he needs to be the one who is, paying for your stuff or paying for your dates at the very least. Like, I mean, if you guys are traveling, he should be the one who's like making the arrangements for it. Like, he should not be telling you, "Oh, my card is not working. Oh, my loans didn't come through. Oh, my debit card expired. I can't get a new one expedite." Like, none of that stuff should be happening. I don't get what it was about him that possessed her to give him all this money. But yeah, I'm definitely, after this live, I'm definitely going to go try to find this on TikTok. Like, this is I'm truly astounded by this. So yeah, I'll just land there for now. Thank you so much.
All right, all right. I got you, sis. Unwritten, or before I get to you, Unwritten, let me go to the lady that just came up here, then I'll get to you, Unwritten. Hey, sis, Zari or Zari. Let me know how to say that.
Zari. Real
Okay, go
name
ahead, Zari.
Azaria. I was just what you was just saying not too long ago. How do you call it self-hatred, right? Because you literally said self-hatred, and you said any black person that is trying to uplift or basically do anything to make a person feel better about themselves, and it was based on race because you mentioned color, but
What
then
are you talking
say
about? I'm
I'm talking
confused. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about what you just said prior. You said
What did I what
self-hatred.
did I say? Because I'm confused
You
at
were
what you're
basically
talking.
saying if anyone of color comes up or tries to protect or anything when it comes to a white tea person, they don't like themselves. So I'm asking
That's
you,
not
maybe
what I
that's
said. That's
okay.
not
So
what I
that's
said at all. So
okay.
I need you to first of all get your white savior cape off to save massa
You're doing
and
it
calm down.
again.
Hold on. Like, let's calm down, first of all, because I didn't say that. What I said was
You
this,
literally just said
and
it
I'll be
again,
very
though.
clear. No, I'll tell you what I literally said because what I said was not what you said. And I have no problem saying what I said because, unlike it seems like you, I'm not a white people worshiper. So, this is what I said. So, let me be clear here. I said that if you're a black person and your entire friend circle is only white people and you don't have any black friends, there's something wrong with you. And I will not take it back. You hate yourself because you can find some black friend, even your family, somebody to hang out with that's black. Having only white friends as a black person is very intentional. That's number one, and it's rooted in self-hatred. Number two, what I said is to see black people, and this means you, Zari, someone coming up here to defend white people in a space with black people when we're talking about a white man who swindled a black woman. I said that if a black woman or a black man had swindled a white person and there was a discussion and it was being had and everybody here that was talking was white, there would be zero white people in there trying to defend black people and say, well, look, what is it wrong? Why are y'all talking about the blacks like that?
So it is
How
about
dare
the
you
color
talk
of the
about the
skin and
blacks
not the
like that?
content.
Let's defend the black people. They wouldn't be doing it. They wouldn't. But you have to put on your coonerific cape and come over here and defend white people. And once again, you're a sick Negro. You're the sick Negro that I'm talking about, sorry. And I
You
don't
hate yourself.
talk to sick Negroes. Just like I don't talk to white people on my platform and hear their thoughts and opinions because I don't care. I also don't care to hear raccoons' thoughts and opinions and feelings either. So if you want to go and be heard, go to those white people and tap dance for them and put on a hat and tip, tip, tappy, tap and say, yes, massa, I love fried chicken and I love watermelon. Come give me a pat on the head as a good girl. Go over there with that. Because you're not going to give me this type of negative energy. Because if I was white, you wouldn't be having an attitude to me. If I was blonde with some blue eyes, you'd be over here talking to me nice. But you want to come in my life and get smart with me to defend some white people. Girl, if you don't go outside and run around and do something with yourself, go brush your teeth, go comb your hair, go do something. Go to a doggone country club. Like wherever you want to be where the white people are. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Go help your white friends wash their legs today. Go get a African net sponge or a wash rag and go to all your white friends that I know you have and wash their legs today if you love them so much. I'm sure they're in desperate need of that exfoliation. Okay? That's what you can go do. Or go into their houses and find where their chicken is and clean it. Put some vinegar in there and some lemon and some limes and clean it up. All right? So they got some clean chicken. Do that. All right? Get out of here. You talking about wash my scalp. You wash your scalp. Like, for real. Brush your teeth, too, while you at it. Sorry. Like, what are you talking about? I really don't know what she thought. You really thought you was about to come in here and check me on some white people? Yes, I am angry. Whoever this is who said you're angry, absolutely angry. I'm angry because some of my people are very sick in the head, and it's sad to see it. It's literally sad to see it. Like, honestly, it's actually heartbreaking. And that type of mentality is the reason why this black woman was taken advantage of. Honestly, it's terrifying, but what can I do? What can I do? But I know she didn't think she was about to check me about some white people. Like, well, what did you say? I said exactly what I said. Now take that back to them, okay? All right. Unwritten, did you have anything to say, sis? I'm gonna keep going back up. There's some other people here too. She
Oh
was
my goodness. Like, what the crap?
I don't
No,
know.
bro, you're triggering all of the white worshipers. They're coming out in droves. Like, this story is really exposing a lot of people and their connection to whiteness. But I'm trying to figure out the deception. Like, in the story, she was going with anything. Like, did he? It's like, I get, like, to me, this is the difference between the Reese and Tisa, where he actively lied right from the beginning on certain things. And I'm not sure, because I didn't watch all of this. Did he actually lie and tell her one thing and it was another? It sounded like she knew what was up the whole time. She was just with it. Like, I'm trying to figure out where the deception part coming in at. Because anybody
Girl.
Do you want us to explain it to you?
said, yeah, can somebody let me know? Like, I'm trying to figure out where was she deceived?
Yeah. No, there was. I mean, to be fair, he was a masterful manipulator because he scammed a lot of people out of money, not just her. So he is good at what he does. But the deception, he told her early on that he was part of a royal family, and then sent her to some like weird random website that had somebody with the same last name as him that was part of like a royal decree or something like that. He told her he was an Olympian. So the things that he told her were verifiable information, but she never looked it up. That was her main negligence. She could have easily looked up all these things. And he told her that like he owned like apartment complexes that were worth millions of dollars. He did spend on her early on, although she was trying to pretend to be the demure girl, like not a gold digger. So he did try to take her on trips, put her in like the best hotels, etc. Until all of a sudden he started having like one excuse or another, like my account is frozen. I need money really quickly because like there's an emergency at the apartment complex, and I can't get money. Like there was always one excuse or another. That's the deception, I guess.
So okay, so basically he lied about certain aspects of his background, his identity. So he wasn't actually a part of the royal whatever, and he didn't own that apartment building that he said he did, right?
Yeah, and he was not an Olympian. Nope.
And he wasn't an Olympian. Okay, those things, even though they're lies, I'm not seeing how they're deceptive. Like, because it didn't necessarily result in harm to her. Like him, that's like me saying like I went to the Olympics. Like, sure, I'm a liar, but that doesn't necessarily harm you per se. Like, what are you doing with that information?
He was asking her for money towards things that he wasn't actually like. He didn't own apartment complexes, but he needed money to fix up his like the apartments. Like he was using that money to gamble and like spend on other women because he was dating other women while with her.
Yeah, he definitely deceived her. That's for sure. And just like somebody mentioned in the comments, like he also had a gambling addiction and he didn't alert her of this. So that's also deception. And sometimes people think that if you don't say like a lie directly to someone, you can lie by omission as well. But yeah, let me keep going up here, you guys. I'm gonna go up here to Supervillain and then Nana. Go ahead, Supervillain.
Hey Trig, here for a good time, not a long one. First of all, 10s across the board. I just want to mention we taught white tea people how to take a bath in the 8th century. If it's 2025 and they still not washing their legs, I think we gotta let this one go. They ain't gonna do it. No, they ain't gonna do it. I just wanted to mention the white tea proximity part because it's always gonna be that for me, which I don't understand. It sounds like she had access to money, so it wasn't a money thing. She wanted the status of being with a white tea man, which is super weird because when it comes to being classes, you include money, but if he had no money, I don't understand why he was such a great catch to her, especially being an Igbo woman. Igbo women are known for being gold diggers, like proud gold diggers. They don't take that as an insult. So this one is just like really confusing to me. And I really hope this is not one of those things where they set something up and later we found out it was just to get clout off TikTok, because that's gonna be really annoying. But I just wanted to put my 2 cents in for that. Thank you, Trick.
All right, all right. I got you. I got you, super villain. All right, let me go next up here to Nana. Go ahead, Nana. Set your timer.
Hiya, thanks for letting me on. I think I watched the whole thing last night, and I think the most concerning thing that I saw was that when people who are like super white adjacent, like you could tell she comes from a very like affluent family, probably went to private school, she's a realtor, she lives in white suburbs in Texas. They seem to think that they're better than other Black people, and I've like personally been in it because I was training to be a professional ballet dancer, so I've been around people like this, and they seem to put their guard down. And like what you said is right. If she was around Black people, she would know that she was the prize in the end. Like, let's not act like the Western Europe are not going through this massive recession. Being an American is such a plus in this relationship, and if she was around Black people, she would know. And just the low racial self-esteem is definitely screaming out here. But yeah, thank you. That's all I wanted to say.
All right, all right. I got you. I got you. I appreciate you, Nana. All right, let me go up here next to Vogue or Vogue. You got Vogue on the other side. Oh, go ahead, Vogue.
Yes, so it's Vake, and I watched the
Oh,
whole.
Vake. I'm sorry, Vake.
You're good. I watched the whole series. I myself am Nigerian. I also live in Dallas. So my perspective from this is, when living in Dallas, there are a lot of Nigerians. Like, there is a heavy Nigerian community that you have, right? And for me, I've never met her, right? So she doesn't really involve herself in the Nigerian community. But like, I feel like this goes further because it is known that there are actual Africans and actual Nigerians that worship white people. Like, it is a thing. Like, it is a thing that, like, they look at them as superior. Like, they look at them as the top of the top. They treat them that way. And I'm speaking from knowing that there's people in my family that have acted this way, but that's because they've lived in Nigeria. They haven't lived in America long enough. So for her to have been raised in Nigeria, raised in America, and to still have that superiority complex is crazy, first off. Second off, I truly feel like knowing that all of her friends, not having one Black friend is crazy. I agree with you on that. And to see that she just it was giving, she just wanted to be seen, wanted to be appreciated. And honestly, it's like in the beginning, I wanted to feel guilty. I wanted to feel bad for her because it's like, she really got. But at the same time, like, she could have did her due diligence and searched those things. And being a Nigerian in Dallas, Texas, you could have so many Nigerian friends. So to me, it's just kind of triggering that, like, you didn't go out of your way to do any research. And on top of that, like, you didn't want to confide in nobody. And I promise you, if she had just one Nigerian friend from Dallas, Texas, it wouldn't have gone down this way. It wouldn't have gone down this way. So it's honestly just like, it's crazy. It's crazy. That's really all I got to say. I probably got more to say, but it's not coming to me, but it's crazy.
All right, I got you. I got you, okay? I appreciate you, sis. All right, let me go next up here to Sharifa. Go ahead, Sharifa.
Thanks. So to Voke's point, again, like, she wasn't vetting his finances at all. And then if she had a support system, like she clearly has a great support system in the fact that it was interesting how nobody gossiped behind her back. Not that people should gossip behind her back, but nobody went and asked other people, like, hey, like, her boyfriend, her fiance or boyfriend at the time is asking me for money. And then, like, if they had all put two and two together, they could have at least come to her and say, hey, like, I don't know what's going on with his job or his finances, but they've asked all of us for money. And just to clarify in the comments, he swindled a total of $300,000 out of her and her family and friends. So it was $200,000 from one of her friends who were a married couple. So it was a white man and woman, and they were married. So $200,000 out of them. And then I think I can't remember his nationality, if he's like Dutch or what have you, but let's just, for the sake of argument, let's say he's Dutch. So there was a guy, a white Dutchman in Dallas, who basically took him under his wing, off of the strength of his relationship with the girl, the Danish deception girl. And so from there, he ended up giving him $30,000, and that was what the Rolex was collateral for. And that's when he found out that the Rolex was fake. So because of her bringing him into the fold, he ended up taking a total of $300,000 from her and all of her friends and family. And so had they all just talked to each other, they could have at least prevented her from the relationship getting further than it did. And then also, apparently, once he got to Dallas, like I guess his accounts were frozen, and he told her that it was 18 months until it would be unfrozen. And so she's like, okay, let's open you up a new account in the meantime. And so it was just a lot of stuff, a lot of just red flag after red flag after red flag that had she just bothered to reach out to her support system or just, do a background check, hire a private investigator, all of this could have been avoided. And I think ultimately people keep asking in the comments, like, why, why? Some people are just that desperate. And it's no shade, but that's the only explanation. Some people are just desperate. And then I also mentioned the Dutchman that brought him under his wing in Dallas. He even said after, he said, I gave him the $30,000 and, it all came to light. He was like, I thought you were in on it because you're Nigerian. And, not because of the stereotype, not to say that that's right, but, that's another reason why I think she could be, held liable in all this, because all of that traveling they were doing, people are putting two and two together to say, like, hey, like, how much was she a victim and how much was she a participant? So,
All right, I got you. I got you, Sharifa. And I just wanted to say that, in having this conversation, I can't speak for any of the ladies on the panel, but I'll just say my intention is not to, and I don't think the ladies on the panel mean anything either. I think we're just having a discussion, but I just want to say that anytime I have lives, I do try to find out some way that it can help other Black women, and I feel like she could be used as a cautionary tale for other Black women to not make the same mistakes. And I think that several things that can be learned from this situation. Number one is that you cannot put whiteness on a pedestal and think that whiteness automatically equals purity or honesty or, oh, this person isn't going to be a criminal. They're not going to be doing this, that, and the third. Only the Blacks do that. Or only the such and suches do that. I think that when you put yourself in a position of prioritizing whiteness or putting whiteness on a pedestal, these are the situations that you get yourself into. And as a Black woman, it's always good to keep your circle mainly filled with people that look like you, because you never know what those other people are thinking about you. Because just like the people that loaned her husband at the time the $200K, and she thought they were her friends, you see how quickly they were able to be racist. Like, oh, well, I thought that you were a scammer because you were Nigerian. And if they were able to come to that conclusion and not look at her character as a Nigerian woman and say, oh, well, we have known her for years, we know she's not like that. Deep down inside, they thought, oh, well, she could do that because she's Nigerian. And I think that that's something also that's very important to realize. Look, just like the lady that came up here, the Black woman that came up here to try to defend white people, a sick Negro like that, when you put white people in that way, they never will do that for you, is what I'm trying to say. So I just want Black women, this isn't to demonize Black women that date white men or date out of their race. Do you, sis, go where you're loved and appreciated. But I just would like more Black women to understand that just like a Black man can treat you bad and do you dirty, a white man can treat you bad and do you dirty. An Asian man can treat you bad and do you dirty. A white man can also treat you great. A Black man can also treat you great. An Asian man can also treat you great. There are bad people in all demographics. And once you get to this point to where you're going after a certain demographic because maybe you pedestalize them for some reason, or maybe you think that their color is synonymous with great treatment of women, you're automatically going to lose. You're automatically going to put yourself in a position to be taken advantage of. Because like I said earlier, also when you're a Black woman and you are desperate for a white man and that white validation, they can smell that on you. Because a lot of white men have become hip to the game through social media. They see a lot of Black men out there bashing Black women, tearing up Black women, talking about how Black women are ugly and nappy-headed and this, masculine, this, that, and the third, and how white women are better in this. They know that, they see that, and they know, smart white men that is, that are able to capitalize off of the feelings of black women, know that black women are in a state of needing validation, affirmation and kind words. And some white men may pour that into you, but not because they love you, but with the intention of seeing what they can get out of you. And also, it's a big thing. Everyone knows black men will lie to you and tell you like, oh, black women don't support us. Black women don't love us. Black men know that black women are the most, in my opinion, the most submissive women. That's actually bad, but they're the most submissive, the most quick to be a mule, the most quick to be a mammy, the most quick to come up out of pocket, the most quick to be down for a broke man, et cetera, et cetera. That's widely known. And now I really feel like because of the social media, now other races of men are beginning to pick up on it. And so they may sell you a dream at first because they're hoping to get the same treatment that a lot of black women have given black men, which is undying devotion, undying loyalty, ride or dying, giving up all of your money, giving up all of your autonomy, entertaining men that have nothing. So I just think that those are all things to really keep in mind, that pedestalizing any group of people is never the right thing. And also being a black woman, regardless of what anybody says, having a basically entirely white circle is disturbing. And if you find yourself doing things like that, ask yourself why. Ask yourself why you feel like you have more in common with people that don't look like you than you have in common with people that do. Because I can guarantee you that this type of self-hatred, you very rarely see other races of people engage in. But because anti-blackness is so prevalent and because black people have been brainwashed so much to hate themselves, these type of things happen. And that's all I'm saying. And because like I said, this is about, the stuff that we saw the videos about her. But I also want to put forth that I'm hoping that any black woman that's watching this, you can avoid putting yourself in that position. You pedestalizing anything other than yourself is a problem. As a black woman, you should know that you are the top of the top. You are the blueprint. There's no reason why you should be pedestalizing anyone else. Okay? Like I said, or saying like, oh yeah, of course he was hot. He had blonde hair and blue eyes. Saying that to me as a black woman is wildly self-hating. But anyway, I don't know if anyone else, there's someone else that is trying to come in the box. So we can talk about it. Well, I guess she didn't come up. Did you want to come up, Chevy? If you did, I'm sorry I was talking. You can come up if you want to, sis. Yeah. Because I don't want you guys to just hear me bumping my gums all the time. Did you have something to say, sis? Oh, she just dropped back down. Let me see what you got. Oh, go ahead, Gabrielle.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, just in my opinion, I feel like this whole thing could have been avoided just by setting a certain high standard when it comes to dealing with men. I feel like obviously don't give them any money, but even beyond the whole not giving them any money thing, I just feel like the guy should be the one who pays for the dates, who opens doors, who, if there's going to be any travel, he should be the one like buying your ticket and, flying you out. Like, I just feel like, and someone in the comments also mentioned something about discernment. And I think that is also a huge thing. I feel like even regardless of her friend group giving him money, which, don't get me wrong, they should not have done. But even beyond that, she should not have been giving him any money. I know people are just saying like, oh, the why is because she was desperate. But I just feel like if she had not been desperate and just had a certain standard and said, in order for me to be romantically involved with any man, they need to meet this bar, I feel like it would have just automatically weeded this guy out. And someone in the comments said that he paid for stuff for a while. It's like, okay, yeah, great. He started off paying for stuff, and that is a standard that needs to continue. And if he stops doing what he did in the beginning, then the relationship needs to end. Like, it shouldn't ever be, oh, he starts off paying for dates and all of a sudden he's talking about his card was, I don't know, for his accounts were frozen. Like, it just really should be, this is the standard for you and I to have any kind of romantic dealings or entanglements or whatever. I'm really seriously blown away by it. I think that it was a long con. I think the fact that he left right after he got money from her, I think the fact that he started off by talking about his financial problems and kind of laid the soil to eventually get her to volunteer. I think the whole thing was a long con. I think it's the Tinder swindler 2.0, and I just think if she'd been more discerning and set higher standards for entertaining any kind of man, that it would not have happened. But yeah, that's what I think.
All right. I got you, Gabrielle. Oh, I'm sorry. Who was that? Oh, yeah. Go ahead, Henry. Yeah.
But sticking to your standards is what, is really key. As some mentioned, it sounds like a part of Nigerian culture that they do try to set that standard of trying to, the man being provider, etc. But her white male worship identity is what overrode the standard. So she may have had that standard, and she potentially would have applied that standard to someone who wasn't white and blonde haired and blue eyed. It was, the fact that this was who he was, that went all out the window. That's why I'm like, even comparing this to the Tinder swindler, like someone mentioned, he was actually smart in the way in which he conned women, essentially. Everything they sound like this guy did was verifiable. And once again, it was a lot of things that was going on with her that made her an easy target, if that makes sense. And so I think what Trigger was saying, like, if we're speaking about, this situation, it's like helping women to not be an easy target and starting with stop worshiping whiteness. Stop putting whiteness on a pedestal. There are certain beliefs that people have around race that you need to check. If it's internalized or if it's consciously known, if you think whiteness equals good and safe and all of these different things, you are susceptible to being in that same situation. So it's a matter of like really, really, going internal and understanding like, okay, what are my beliefs around race? And I don't know if other cultures have experienced doing that, like Black Americans. So yeah, just wanted to add.
All right. I got you unwritten. Appreciate you, sis. All right. Let me go next up here to Miss KJR. Go ahead, KJR.
Hi, thank you for having me up. So I just want to say this. I absolutely think it has to do with what the young lady said before me about worshiping whiteness. And don't get me wrong, we've all been a fool for a man before. Well, I know I have. And we have, spent money that we shouldn't have, or whatever the case may be with helping out a man. But the amount of money that this man swindled this woman, and not only her family, her friends, and it's like, my God, it took me one time to get played, and I'm like, never again. You got your loved ones involved, you got, your close friends involved for one man that never really held up his end of the bargain in no scenario. That's not off to you, young lady. So I think it has absolutely everything to do with white tea worshiping. And the thing that's scary about it is we see stories not exactly like this, but stories like this. And it's like it's a never ending. It's just a repeated cycle where, people will sell their soul. People will do all kinds of stuff just to, and it's mind blowing, just to accommodate, white tea people. We see it in the workplace. We see it with our family and friends. We see it all in different forms. And it's just like, why? And just like how that lady came in here and you was going back and forth, I believe the host, they are so quick to defend each other with evilness and wickedness. And we are so easy to tear each other apart. Keep that in mind. That's it.
What I find to be crazy, speaking about what you were saying, is that I've noticed, and I see this a lot in white tea people, like wrong or right, they always stand behind each other. Even when it's something very clearly obvious that a white tea person did wrong, And especially if they did it to a black person, but really if they did it to any non-white T person, they stay on code. There is no let's see the other side of things. And I find it to be very disgusting that anytime there's a conversation like this, it's always a black person wanting to come in and put their coonerific cape on and defend and protect them. And just like, you know what I'm saying, Sam Jackson and Django with Leonardo DiCaprio, like that's how it is, that actual imagery. And I find that to be absolutely crazy. Like anytime you don't, most of the people that come in, they understand my perspective and where I'm coming from. But it's a nice little still percentage of black people that find my take on holding white people accountable, not pedestalizing whiteness, not doing any of that. Find it very distasteful that I do that. And I think it's very crazy because nobody says anything to white people when they do that. I've literally seen videos of white people clearly in the wrong. Like they were totally in the wrong and they get their just desserts. Somebody smacks them up or does something to them. And all I see is white people making excuses. You know what I'm saying? For why these white people did this, or saying the black people should have never did anything at all. But it's just so funny that when the situation is reversed, a lot of black people don't keep that same energy. And I just don't respect that. And that's the reason why that lady got the energy. Like she had all of this aggressive energy to me on behalf of a group of people that would never give her that. Never give her that. I
Exactly.
don't care if a white person just went up there and stomped her head in for no reason. They would never give her that energy of protection.
Right.
When black people do that, I find it so disgusting. Like I don't know. I don't know.
I
But
just can't believe it.
yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. It definitely is crazy, KJR. Let me keep going. Let me go up here to I think it's Chevy 888. Go ahead, sis.
Hi, sorry about earlier, but I just wanted to say I grew up in a predominantly white area, and when I heard the young lady talking, I was like, man, she sounds like she's trying to like really emulate. She sounds like a Mormon from Utah to me because there's a lot where I'm from. So I was like, is she from Utah? Is she Nigerian? And I think that just knowing like people that are in the diaspora, a lot of their families come to the US and like shit on like Black Americans. And I'm not saying everybody, but I had a friend that was kind of like that. And I think that like it is self-hatred because you have to ignore, like you said earlier, every single one of my white friends has offended me in some way. Like I don't think that it's possible for them to like not have some sort of, whether it's competition or whether it's jealousy or whether it's like, I had a girl cry once because I got a raise and I had been at the place for 7 years and she had been there for 6 months. Like I've never had an experience, unfortunately, with a white woman or white friends where they haven't done something to offend me. So she was probably willing to endure it with all of her friends. And so this probably was kind of the same thing, just so that she could like be closer to whiteness, because none of it made sense to me.
Right, I got you, Chevy. And that's exactly what I'm saying. That's all I was trying to say when the other black woman came up here is that if your friend circle is all of them, I can guarantee you there are things that are happening to you that you're swallowing. And it's really just that simple because, like I said, you cannot raise an entire group of people and tell them that they have manifest destiny, that they're the best of the best, the top of the top, that God told them that they can come to all of these places with people of color and annihilate them, participate in genocides and do all of these ungodly, unholy things to them. And that's their right because they're so great. Their skin is the best. This is the best. They have brainwashed the entire world and to believe that they are truly the best. You cannot indoctrinate that into a group of people and they not go out in the world and show that to you in some way, shape, form, or fashion in their dealings with you, whether they like you or not. They're going to show that to you in some way. And back in the day when I used to entertain white people, I had a couple white friends here and there, white women friends, and they did exactly that. And that's why I weren't their friends anymore. So I think that we as black people, especially the black people that hang out with white people, y'all got to stop lying. Y'all know what be going on. Don't lie to me. Lie to yourself, but don't lie to me. But let me keep going to Tanisha. Go ahead, Tanisha. Let me start your timer. Go ahead, Tanisha.
Yeah, I just wanted to just add on to the previous girl's point. It 100% has to do with self-hatred because her whole family basically hates themselves. And we've seen what happens, like the consequences of you know, just moving your family to the United States or any other country. And like some African families have this mindset where they'll move their children to like European countries or American countries, and they'll basically tell their kids, oh, you know, stay away from the westernized blacks. Like they'll say, stay away from the black British or stay away from the black Americans. They do this and that, and they'll purposefully put their kids in like predominantly white schools and not teach their kids their native language. And this is basically the effect of it. And she basically just wanted to be with this guy because he was a white man and because a blonde-eyed, blue eyes like a white guy would never go for like a dark skinned girl. So like she just needed a reason to prove herself to him, which is why she kept on offering, which was very stupid. You never offer a white man money. Like we all know this. You wouldn't even offer a black guy money. She would never have ever ignored the red flags if this was a black Nigerian guy. Her family would have never, African families would have never ignored that. If it was a black guy from her culture, it would not have happened. So it's like, it's very sad to see because I think her family, just especially some Nigerian families, they kind of praise like being close to white people. They think being well educated, going to white schools, being surrounded by white people makes you of a higher status, and it's really sad to see. But at the same time, you know, it's really her parents' fault at the end of the day. They basically set her up for failure, and it's a shame.
All right, I got you, Tanisha. Appreciate you, sis. All right, let me keep going. Next to Alexis. I'll start your timer, sis. Go ahead, Alexis.
Hey, I wanted to say that I definitely agree with how sometimes us as black women or as black people, we can stick together. But my problem with this conversation is that I love black women so much, I cannot allow her to get any empathy or sympathy. This was far more dangerous than her money. This was a woman who jumped to go on a trip abroad with a man that she had only seen twice. And when her family told her, oh, like her sister told her, oh, you got to put like a tracker in your bag and stuff, she was automatically talking about, no, I love him. I trust him with my whole life. That level of delusion, I cannot allow her to get on this internet and then look for sympathy because it's like indoctrinating other young black women that this behavior was okay. And to my, I'm telling you to this day, I do not believe that man did not spike her drink. For her to be a very young, well-fit, looks like an athletic woman, and the moment that she's with him in this random country, she falls to the point where she's passing out, she's bleeding in the back of her head, and she's having seizures, and he says epilepsy. This type of behavior is beyond. This type of obsession, this type of pedalization of whiteness is beyond. We live in an era where there is entirely way too much information, where you have seen stories of black people in predominantly Caucasian circles and they end up missing or no longer here. You can't tell me that this girl does not have this access to this information. Not with the internet, not with the resources and the money that her family and stuff come from. She purposely ignored so many things. This was way beyond money. And she sits on the internet right now getting pissed off with other black women because we are not coddling her. She doesn't even see the danger of the YT women that are coddling her behavior and saying, it's okay, we'll pat you on the back, feel better. They are allowing her to go down in any way possible. And this, at this point, this is why I just can't get down with her.
All right, I got you. I'll tell you what, Alexis, I can't say that what you said is wrong. I agree with you. You know, I'm an empathetic person by nature, so I feel a little bad for her because I can see how desperate she is, but I do understand what you're saying about the dangers of like making it seem like this isn't a big deal. You know what I'm saying? I understand everything that you're saying. I will say that I want to ask you, what do you think about this? Do you think that some people pedestalize whiteness so much and they don't even realize it, like on a subconscious level, that they're willing to throw like all reasonable thought out the window, Alexis?
I absolutely do think that. And I agree with the young lady that says there's no way that she has not experienced poor behavior from this community before. Not only is she seemingly the only black person that surrounds herself, and you can find her a mile away in her little friendship community, but she's also unfortunately an immigrant. So that's two things against her. And she has allowed this type of behavior for the approval of whiteness. No, they've been toiling at this girl since she was a young girl, and nobody can change my mind to believe that's not been happening. But she's been accepting it, and she obviously comes from possibly a family that has told her it's okay because it's white people.
All right. Yep. I mean, hey, I think that's true. Uh, Thanks so much, Alexis. I appreciate you. And I agree with what you said. Let me go over here next to Miss Simply Caramel. Hey, how you doing, lady?
Hey Trigger, hey girl, how your day going? I hope everything's going well. Hey ladies on the panel. Yeah, I don't know too much about uh the couple and the girl here. I just been listening to everything and just kind of getting the facts from from the live. But yeah, I definitely have experienced I actually have a family member. Hopefully she's not on here because I know sometimes she messaged me and be like, "Oh girl, I see you on live," but yeah, I actually have a little sister who is she seemed to be going through something similar like this. Um she moved from a neighborhood that she's from, which is predominantly black and things like that, and she moved to another state where it is predominantly white, middle class area. She moved in with a YT girl who was supposedly her best friend at the time. She, purposely seeked out through Facebook groups to diversify, quote unquote, diversify her friend circle, which was mainly YT women or YT passing women. And she's actively dating a YT man who is still married, by the way. And but he's separated from his wife. But anyway, he's like 3 times her age. And yeah, I mean, she definitely, she talks different. She um and I try to have these conversations with her. I be trying to send her your live streams and YouTube videos where like the topic is about this. And it's like on one hand, I understand when it comes to like the black community because we say it all the time. A lot of people relate being poor, low class, um struggling, coming from poverty. A lot of people seem to relate that to the black community, even though not everyone from the black community grew up poor or is struggling or anything like that. So, but that's just what it is in society. A lot of people try to group or, relate being poor, struggling, coming from the ghetto or whatever to the black community. And so I feel like in her case, that was kind of like what it is. I mean, she did mention something like that to me. She just wanted to, pretty much just, I guess, change up her friend circle, so that she can have access to higher class earners, potentially earning higher earning men, things like that. And yeah, it is a sign of definitely having low racial self esteem. And I know I'm on a timer, so I don't want to make this too long. But yes, girl, she done met. It's crazy because she met this one girl from this Facebook group, and she was like a white passing Latina. Come to find out, the girl was actually a scammer. She tried to scam my sister out of some money because the girl had signed them up for like gym memberships, going to the spa, things like that. And then she ended up trying to make it seem like my sister was trying to scam her, but that was her way of scamming, to try to get my sister to send her back. She started like blackmailing her, things like that. It ended up getting really ugly. Both me and my sister actually ended up going to jail behind this girl. And then, aside from that, the YT girl that she moved in with, who was supposed to be her best friend at the time, they ended up falling out, and she ended up finding out that the girl was talking mess behind her back to another fellow friend group who, they both were YT women, or YT passing women. But long story short, they both was talking about my sister behind my sister back. Mind you, they both met each other through my sister. And long story short, they ended up falling out. And the second that they ended up falling out, girl, the girl started saying racial slurs to her, relating her to an angry dog, things like that. And I had warned my sister about it. I told her, I was like, that's what this girl was on. You know what I'm saying? And like, even when my sister, like, she got super mad, she was, she called me, was like, she's getting ready to confront the girl. And I warned my sister, I said, that girl was going to call the police on you the second you try to confront her about anything. And guess what? That's exactly what that girl did. So, this is all facts. Like, you know, I don't understand. I mean, I understand, like I said, it's the low racial self-esteem, anti-black things like that. And like the last lady said, I don't understand why we're in 2025. We have access to all of this information. We have the news, we have Instagram, we have TikTok, we have, other people's, testimonies, things like that. I really don't understand why in 2025, um, things like this is still happening. And like I said, it definitely has something to do with classism as well. I don't know if, a lot of people think that, as a black woman, you can't have access to a certain type of class or status or things like that. So you have to go and try to surround yourself with people who you think are able to give you access to that class or status and things like that. You know what I'm saying? And then I also feel like it has something to do with, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. And I think it also has something to do with, like I said, the class, the status, and the othering. When it comes to women, trying to other ourselves and things like that too. I mean, it's just it's definitely deep, and I definitely have a lot of things to say when it comes to this topic. But I definitely want to let other ladies, um, go and say their piece. But yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand why, as anybody, black, in the community, black women, why would you want to go and entertain um the people who have a history and their ancestors are actively oppressing us and have partaken in cannibalism on our people, and just all of these things. I don't understand how you can even look at a YT man or woman or whatever the case and be like, yeah, like, I want to have a close proximity with this, with these people. And then there's
Karma.
I'm sorry. Like I said, girl, I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna wrap this up, girl. Like I said, I could go on and on, but I'll land here.
Hey, all right. I appreciate you. It's always good to hear from you, sis. I always love to hear your opinions and your thoughts. Always. All right, let me go up here to Lisa. Go ahead, Lisa. Are you there, Lisa? Well, let me see if I'll turn your mic on. You there, Lisa? Give Lisa just like another like 5 seconds, and then I'm gonna drop Lisa because maybe she walked away or something like that. Okay, I'll drop Lisa. All right, let me go next to supporting black people. Go ahead, sis.
Hi, how are you? It sounded like Simp had her own. She needs to do her own story time because that was sounding good. But I just wanted to say I didn't watch all of it because like at a certain point it just got too redundant for me because I was just like come on, like you didn't see all these signs? Like it was too much. But I just feel like we are so hard on our black men, and we need to take that energy to any race. I feel like, of course, if that person was black, it would have never went down like that. I don't think the friends would have loaned him that much money. They would have just been on him from the very beginning, I think the signs would have just been there already. And we need to take that energy to anybody, because a lot of people don't think rich people are scammers for some reason. They can scam too. So you need to have those same kind of standards that you have for one race across the board. If you're going to be, being diversal in race and dating other races, you still need to have that same standard, those same warning signs, you need to hold that, because just because they're a different race doesn't mean that they are going to be, different. Doesn't mean that they're not going to scam you. Doesn't mean that, you can let down your guard all the way and just let them do whatever to you. You have to hold those same standards across the board.
All right, all right. I got you. Supporting. I definitely think that like we as black men should have the same standards for everyone in dating and stuff like that. I think with this situation, I feel like there is two sides to this, because I do feel like there are black women that pedestalize whiteness, right? And those women will give a white man a chance to just do them super dirty and allow them to do things they would never allow a black man to do. However, I do believe that a lot of black women also don't have any standards for black men either, that accept black men that are the bottom of the barrel, that have nothing to offer, that that are not doing anything for them, that are not taking care of them, that don't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of, and will mammy and mule for those men and do all of these type of things too. So I think that really, honestly, however you package it, whether it's a black woman that is pedestalizing whiteness, she's a white male worshiper, or whether you have a black woman that's a pick me, that's a black male worshiper. I think the thing that we should really focus on is building black women's self-esteem to where they don't feel like they should worship or pedestalize either man. White men, black men, Asian men, whoever, that they need to have the standards to where if a man is not treating them like the queen that they are, then they don't need to entertain that man at all. They shouldn't be paying a man's bills. They shouldn't be giving a man money. If a man asks you for money, he doesn't care about you. He doesn't like you. He doesn't love you. And more than likely, you're a lick. Now, yes, I'm not going to make any excuses for that. I really do believe that. I believe that men that are asking a woman for money, there is a problem there. Because if he was a real man, he would figure it out on his own. He wouldn't be coming to a woman that he's dating or seeing and asking her for money. Like, that's just gross. And I'm trying to take advantage of this woman. So I just think that, as you know, because black women, we do experience a lot of degradation and disrespect in the eyes of the world. Everything with us is a topic of discussion. Our bodies, our hair, our motherhood, our education, everything for a black woman is up for discussion and up for people to take it apart and basically bash us and demean us. So I do believe that causes a lack of self-esteem in a lot of black women. Not to mention that our black men, I don't want to say our men, but I just want to say Black men are the only race of men that publicly pedestalize other races of women and put down their own. So all of that also causes, I feel like, a deep sense of a lack of racial self-esteem in some women that internalize that. Now, with some black women that say, oh, forget that. I know I'm the bomb.com. Forget what these Nick Nogs are saying. But then there are also black women and black girls that internalize that and look for validation from any and everybody. And I think that that's something that we have got to teach not only the youth, but also older black women too. That's not something we can't care about what the world thinks about us, and look for validation in anyone. But let me see here. Gabrielle, did you have anything to say? I'll go back down to the bottom.
Yeah, for sure. I actually had a lot to say. I want to piggyback off what you were saying and what Simply Carmel said, because I think you both made great points. I do think class played a factor in this, but at the same time, I feel like it's important to say that, whiteness is not synonymous with high class or high status like that. It's just the two are not interchangeable at all. I don't know if maybe that is what she thought, that she thought because he was whitey that meant that he was of a higher status. But then again, if he was really high class and high status, he wouldn't have been scamming. He wouldn't have been asking her for money. He wouldn't have been asking her friends for money. So I just keep coming back to what was she getting out of this deal. Like, I just feel like any man that you're dating, regardless of whether he's black, white, Hispanic, whatever, I feel like he should be improving your life. Like, there's actually a quote that says, like, you will never bring a man to your level, he'll always bring you to his. So I feel like if you're going to get involved with a man, it needs to be beneficial to you in some way, and there's no benefit to you giving him money. It just seems backwards to me. It doesn't make any sense. And I mean, I get that she wanted to travel, but it's like, it sounds like she came from a family of money. And actually, ironically, seems like that she was of a higher status than him. Like, I mean, I know I'm just so mind blown. I'm sorry. I'm so mind blown by all of this. It's like, even if she genuinely thought that because he had blonde hair and blue eyes, he was of a high status, him asking her for money, that in and of itself, it just should have proven that he was not high class or high status. So even with that, it's mind blowing to me. I'm sorry. I know I'm rambling, but yeah, I mean, I agree with you also, host, when you said that, like, a man asking you for money, he doesn't like you, he doesn't care about you. That is 1,000% correct. Yeah. Sorry, I'm blown by all of this. I'll just land there.
All right, I got you, Gabrielle. All right, let me go up here to Unwritten. You have something to say, sis?
Yeah, I wanted to piggyback off of what Alexis was saying. I don't think we're, adding the severity that's needed to this type of conversation, because it doesn't always end with, the woman being able to make a story about it and able to walk away. I can't remember if I think it was within this month or last month, that Haitian woman who was unalived by the white guy that she was seeing, and seeing her tweets come out about how she's, was like, send me a white man, and, really, really showed signs of that white male worship, and how it didn't end with, a story time. So it's like, it's very dangerous for women to be worshiping predators. That's literally it. Like, white, black, otherwise, these are predators. And you need to understand that when you're in the dating market, that you need to date with caution and understand, like, the risk associated with dating. The most dangerous man is going to be the one that's laying next to you. Not the one that's in the alley, not the one that's walking the street, down the street. It's the one literally in your bed. And when you understand that, you're able to then date with, a lens of, this is very risky of what I'm doing right now. Me going on a date with a man is very risky, let alone me flying to a foreign country where he has my passport. I'm staying with him and he's a complete stranger. Like, there's no stranger danger that was ever present in this story, which was very mind blowing. And how it was just like, yeah, I met him yesterday and he asked me to Monaco, and I flew out to Monaco the next day. It's like, how is there no register of how insane that is and how dangerous it is? And I think we're just really we're not bringing in how dangerous this is for a lot of women to be so trusting with strange men who you don't know anything about, and you're also not willing to do your research about, because it's only so much that you can do. Not everyone is as, visible online, but that's the least you can do, is try and do your research so that you're going in with information. You know what I mean? You're actually armed with information to know, okay, I know a little bit about you. Therefore, if you are lying, I'm able to pick up on, oh yeah, you're lying. And if somebody's willing to lie to a stranger, what else are you willing to do? Right? And it's like, just taking your life a little bit more seriously. And that's why I think the self-hatred is very important, because it's like, if you are not willing to have self-preservation when you are going into these different relationship dynamics, it's like, why don't you love yourself enough to make sure that you're safe, make sure that you're good, and that anyone that you choose to be in present with, exactly who they are, because not knowing is dangerous. And it's like, not even having that register. And I don't even know like I said, like what her friends or her family were saying, because like I didn't really watch the whole series. But if she's not willing, I'll just add this point I can land here. If she's not willing to vet the white man that she's dating, how can we assume that she's vetting the white friends? If you really worship whiteness, because it sounds like she's working whiteness, not just even the white maleness, but she worships whiteness. And so we can't even guarantee that she has good friends or choosing good friends, because she's showcasing you don't care about the character or the background or anything of this white person. All you care about is their skin color and their blonde hair and blue eyes. And her friend group probably resembled that too. So I think, to Trigger's point,
I'll give you one more minute.
Oh no, that literally doesn't land there. But to your point, that further reiterates, if all your friends are white people and you are a Black woman, like you probably are also white male worshiping. Like you are probably this girl too. So yeah, I'll land there.
All right. I got you unwritten. And I just wanted to say this, because you mentioned the girl that was unalived by her white tea boyfriend or whatever. I think she had broken up with him or whatever and tried to get a restraining order on him. And I did see those tweets where she said, like, where the white boys at and give me a white boy above everybody and all this other stuff. And this is a conversation that I would also like, it's nuanced for us to be honest about. I think that with social media, right, we have seen Black men do that a lot. You saw that with Telvin Osborne, the Black man that was toe tagged by his white tea girlfriend that didn't even get in trouble. They dropped decided to not press charges against her, and all of the stuff that he was saying about Black women, that he would rather have intercourse with a dog and make sure that dog is white before a Black woman, and all this other stuff, and the whole host of other things that we see Black men do to Black women online. Like I said earlier, pedestalizing white women and white Latinas and Asian women and all this, and Black men being the only demographic that have done this. And Black women did not used to respond in kind, right? Everybody knows that Black women were the most race loyal and even technically still are right now. However, I do believe that there is a growing group of Black women that are tired. They're tired of seeing Black men do that. They're tired of seeing Black men pedestalize other races of women, tired of seeing Black men disrespect Black women. So those women, in order to cope and deal with that happening, they've decided to do it back. Okay, so y'all want to do this to us? Let me do it too. So now I'm going to talk about how great these white men are and how much they're better than y'all and how much this, that, and the third. And I do believe that it is reactionary. It is a reaction that is caused by the disloyalty of Black men. So Black women feel like they want to do that. The only difference is that Black women cannot play the game that Black men are playing. Number one, because Black men are still men at the end of the day in the patriarchy and also capable of violence. Just like any man is. Men are responsible for 90% plus of all violence around the globe, no matter where you go. So when you are a Black woman and you try to play those games with these white tea men that we already know are the most racist people on the entire planet, and have all type of, fetishes for Black women and what's that, ghetto gaggers, kinks, and all this other type of thing, that they will have intercourse with Black women, but still deeply, deeply hate them and deeply have, resentment towards them and disrespect and all this other stuff. So when you want to do an aha moment to Black men and say, oh, I can be just like y'all. I can be disrespectful just like y'all. I can be self-hating like y'all. I can put these white tea men on a pedestal just like you do with the white women. A Black woman will always be at a disadvantage. Because first of all, white women, yes, they can call the police on you and do these type of things. But most of the time, they're not going to be capable of the violent acts that men are, because they're women. And we know that men do the most. So, but when you're a Black woman and you're getting with these white tea men, you never know what their mentality or their psychology is behind why they're talking to you. And that's the reason why you have the one girl, I think her name was Sonia. I can't remember her name, but it was so terrible. A young, beautiful Black girl went on a first date with this white tea man and he dismembered her and put her all over the place. And this isn't to say that every white tea man will do that, but this is just because Black men also unalive Black women. So I'm not trying to say that only the white man will do this to you, because that's not true. Black men do it. Black men do it to Black women more, so I'm not saying that at all. But when you compare the numbers, also white men don't date black women that much, contrary to what people think. So all of this is just going in a whole. Let's see. Hopefully, I'm hitting all the points so you understand what I'm saying. So all I'm trying to say is not to take off that black men are a threat as well, but it's just to say that there are a lot of black women that try to use that aha moment to get at black men, and that is never going to work. It's never going to work in a way that y'all think, because first of all, I don't even think black men care like that. Like, they're deeply self-hating, and I don't believe that they even care if we do that. Not in the way that we care, because I do believe that out of every race, black women have the highest racial self-esteem, even with instances like this Danish deception person. But if y'all get what I'm saying, so I
No,
think
yeah.
we just got
You
to
are
be
touching
careful with
on
that.
you
Oh, you
touching on
get
such
it?
a juicy part of this topic, and I have to drop, unfortunately, but I'm gonna be back. But yeah, no, everything you said tends across the board. Thanks, ladies.
All right, thank you so much for coming up to Unwritten. I appreciate you. But yeah, so that's all I was saying. Like, and once again, I'm not trying to tell black women who to date, who not to date. All I'm saying is that there are many nuances in this. And also, I just want to make sure that y'all understand, I'm not saying that black men won't put you in the dirt too, or they won't beat the brakes off of you too, or they won't do all of these things, because they will. I'm just saying also, just keep in mind that sometimes when you're doing that stuff like they do, the only person you're hurting is yourself at the end of the day. Because the self-hating Negroes are never going to care, even if you say those things, because you want to know why? Because they think those things about themselves anyway. That's why they're running after white women. So you're never going to get the response that you want. And the only black men that would care about that are probably not the black men that you would even have any anger towards, if that makes sense. But yeah, let me keep going. Oh wow, it's a lot of people that wanted to come up here. All right, but I don't think did supervillain, did you speak yet?
No, not yet.
Oh, go ahead, sis. Go ahead.
Okay. I just wanted to reiterate a point that Gabby made earlier. I think it was very important. Um, that white tea proximity and wealth are not like synonymous. And I think that's a big part because she obviously had her own money. So she can afford to be in certain spaces, but the treatment that she got was different because she had a white tea partner. So the proximity allowed her to exist in spaces where she could afford to be, but likely would be treated different. But my thing is, even in those cases, again, this is why I'm going to circle back to I don't understand white tea proximity obsession. A lot of the times, we as black people or those who are looking for white tea proximity enter these spaces and then later on complain that the treatment wasn't well or that the treatment was anti-black. And that's the part that gets it confusing to me because why do y'all fight so hard to be in spaces that are literally gate kept to keep black people out of it and then complain when the places are anti-black? So I just wanted to throw that part in there because I think that's a big part of the conversation that goes missing a lot. Like we want to be in these different places or these like nice restaurants that serve this food, and then when we get the potato salad with the raisin in it, we want to complain about it. You knew you was going to these white tea people restaurants, so why are you complaining about the raisins and the potato salad? That's all I'm saying, and I'm I'm a yield there.
All right. I got you. Supervillain. All right. Let me go up here to user 000. You there?
Yes, can you hear me?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so my take on this is I do believe that she was very white male worshiping. Like, if you just look at her background, the fact that she was on The Bachelor competing for that white guy, Colton, and then she went on The Bachelor of Paradise and some other dating show, 3 times competing for white men. And if you look through her Instagram, there was a group with like 19 women, 18 of them were white, and she was the only black girl. And she just has, and also she follows Trump, JD Vance, and Candace Owen on Instagram. So I feel as though she's very white worshiping, and that if she had been dating any other race of men, she would probably put her common sense hat on. But this time around, she was just so like infantilized and wanted him to be her Prince Charming that she didn't listen to any of the red flags. And I don't even think that it was a deception at this point. I think she was very complacent and she had a part to do with her family and her friends getting scammed. Because if this Danish man walked up to her little sister randomly and was like, "Can I have $3,000?" her sister would probably have like ran away screaming. But because you invited them into your family and introduced them, they trusted him because of her. And honestly, she's lucky that all this man took from her was money, and all he took from her family and friends was money, because a lot of women bring in a man who they have not vetted, and he is a PDF file, and he is going to start creeping on your younger sister, on your nieces and nephews. So I feel like, I mean, it's really unfortunate everything that's happened to her and her family, but women across the board need to learn the lesson of vetting a man is very important, because it can get really bad. But that's all I want to say.
All right. I got you. Appreciate you, sis. All right, let me go next to Civilized Collective. Go ahead. Oh, let me send you a request to turn your mic on just in case you can't. Are you there, Civilized
Yeah,
Collective? Okay, go
I'm
ahead.
there. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, like I have a like it's kind of interesting. Like the thing with it is like a lot of those swirlers they promoting white man for free, and white men notice that. White men know they worship them. So what they're
Have you
gonna
ever
do?
dated a
They're
white
gonna
woman,
use
sir?
that. No, I only date black women.
So you've never
So
dated, have you ever had
uh,
intercourse with a white woman? Okay.
nah, man, that's not my thing.
Okay, go ahead.
That's not my thing. Like. Uh, so what I'm seeing, because I used to watch a lot of Swellers content, so that's what they're into. They into promote. It's like I don't know why they do it, but white man is noticing that they use that to their advantage. They know that some certain type of black woman gonna open the door for them, gonna open give them the red carpet. But a lot of times, us like the black community, we need to get the numbers of who's killing each other, because we killing each other too, but white man, they killing white women as much, like
Okay, you
more than
gotta stop. You
anybody.
gotta stop. You gotta stop. Because everything that you're saying is not rooted in reality. Like when you're talking about, and first of all, you have to say unaliving. But black women are unalived the most by black men in the black community. Black femicide is a huge issue. 95% plus of the time when a black woman is unalived, it's at the hands of a black man. So I can't let you just come up here and say things that aren't true. Because that's not true.
So white
But
man is
it's
not
not white men doing it.
unaliving white.
It's not white men that are
Listen,
doing it.
white. Listen, can
It's
you let me speak?
I don't have
White
to
man
let
is
you,
not.
I don't have to let you do anything. So watch your mouth and watch your tone. I don't have to let you do a damn thing. But I just want you to know that
So
what you're saying is inaccurate. And when you talk about white men, of course, white men are unaliving white women and each other and all of that. That's not to say that that's not happening. That's absolutely true. But when you frame it like black people, like there's something different going on in the black community, that's where I have a problem, because black women are 6 times more likely to be unalived by a black man than a white woman is to be unalived by a white man. So to come up
that's not
into
true.
that is
Where you
absolutely
get your
true.
data
Look
from?
it up. Look up the
Where you get
stats.
your data
Look up
from?
the stats. The data comes from the
White
CDC.
man,
The data
white
comes from the
man,
CDC.
unalive white.
I'm not going to have an emotional conversation with you. That information comes from the CDC. That information comes from FBI.gov. Go take your time and go look it up and then come back. Okay? Go look that up. And then
So why
once
you
you find
talking?
out that I'm correct, then come back and tell me you're sorry. And then after you tell me you're sorry, then what I want you to do is cash at me $100 to $protect BW. But yeah, you're not going to come up here with that BS and start lying, because that's what we're not going to do. Because I don't even want the men to even think that this is a space to where y'all going to bash this black woman. Because that's not what this is. If anybody doesn't know, this is a space that I've curated for black women and black women alone. Period. Sometimes I let black men come up here to say what they got to say, depending on if I feel like listening to a stupid take. But you're not going to come up here with that BS and talk about that black woman. When I asked you if you sleep with white women, or have you ever dated a white woman, or you ever had intercourse with a white woman, you gave me a big, long pause, which means that you definitely have. And I even let that slide. You know what I'm saying? But you're not going to do that. So get up out of here. You're not going to bash this woman. That's not what we're doing. No, this live isn't meant to bash her. We're just using her as a cautionary tale on helping women notice the signs. So I don't know what you thought. Get your ashy butt up out of here. And since you said that I'm a liar and what I said isn't true, when what I said is exactly true, please go look that up and come back and then apologize. Okay? All right. So let me keep going. Jade, go ahead, Jade. He thought he had a friend. He didn't. Go ahead, Jade. Are you there? Let me turn your mic on for you, sis. Are you there, Jade? Jade. Jade Mink 86. Are you there? All right, I'm going to drop you. Maybe you can come back. All right, let me go. I'm going to skip you, Simply Caramel, and I'm going to go up to these other two ladies that haven't had a chance to talk yet. Let me go up here to Raven Experience. Go ahead, Raven. Are you there, Raven?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, sis.
So I watched her videos and I felt like it screamed like low racial self-esteem because I don't think if this guy was black, I don't think she would have behaved in the same manner. And I also felt like it was just kind of silly in a way because she talked about like all the vacationing that they were doing, but he didn't really have like any money. So essentially, like, she was paying for all these vacations and he was like using money from like all of her friends. And then I think even with like finding out he borrowed a lot of money, she's not the one who was like willing to walk away from the situation. It was like him who ultimately like walked away from her. So I feel like that's even worse because she was just like willing to kind of like stay and like work it out and knowing that he was like a very like deceitful individual.
All right, I got you. I appreciate you, Raven. Let me go here to Hope. Go ahead, Hope. Let me start your timer, sis. Go ahead, Hope.
Hi, everyone. Okay, so I just want to preface what I'm going to say with saying that I 100% empathize with her and I feel for her, but there were a lot of points in her story that had me raise my eyebrows all the way up. And I also want to clarify, she is not a Trump supporter. She has denied that adamantly. So I just want to clarify that. But I think for me, listening to her, the biggest points of concern that I worry about.
Hey, Hope, I was just asking, does she follow those people?
Yeah,
does she follow Candace Owens, J.D. Vance, and all of them?
I believe she did until someone pointed it out. I think what happened is that she doesn't know she was following them. Like, I was following them for a long time until someone pointed out to me. I think if you follow Biden at one point, it just automatically goes over to Trump unless you literally go and unfollow. So I think that's what happened. But her
I don't know. I think she might be a Trump supporter. That's what I think.
Her tweets are very anti-Trump and they go back years back. So I don't know. But that being said, I feel like there's a lot that I agree with what Raven was saying about low racial esteem, because there's no way in heck anything that this man did would have like flown if he was a black man. I like the fact that you pointed out most of her friends are white. And to me, when I see a black woman with very little to no black friends, that to me is a red flag. And there were so many things that she did that was a red flag to herself. She asked for his number first. Or she asked for his Instagram first. She put her hand on his thigh. She told her she loved him 3 days in. Like, there were just so many things that I'm like, no way she would have done this if this man was not tall, blonde, blue-eyed, and if she didn't think he had money. And I feel like women potentially set themselves up in these situations when they don't confront the issues that maybe they are dealing with when it comes to like their own perceived sense of self and their comfortability with blackness. And I think it's a little more complex because she is Nigerian, right? Like, I'm Nigerian as well. And I think depending on where you grew up and how your parents raised you, sometimes there is a preference for Nigerians to want to distance themselves from their blackness. But that's something she should confront, and she should have confronted, because if she had, perhaps she would not have fallen into this situation. While I empathize with her, the lack of accountability was astounding. Like, even to this point, I think she literally posted a recent post saying that black women are bashing her. And I'm like, no, black women are trying to hold you accountable. Risa Tisa held herself accountable. That's why people loved her. You are not really giving us much to work on. You're basically trying to portray yourself as a perfect victim, but you're not. You trusted this man into your circle with your friends and family without fully vetting him, putting your friends and family at a risk. And you kept sending him money over and over, and to the point of even begging him to stay with you after you knew he had a gambling addiction. That is bananas to me. And the only reason she did that was because she really believed he had money in that bank account, and she really still thought that he was rich and wealthy. And of course, it also raised her platform with her friends, having a white man on her arm. And she was willing to ignore everything just to have that visual. The fact that she was still posting them on Instagram on these swirl couple pages while they were broke and while he owed $200K tells me everything I need to know. So while I do empathize with her, I think she needs to go to therapy and really do some work to evaluate what I consider to be her anti-Blackness.
All right, I got you, Hope. And if you guys could tap the screen, because somebody is reporting it live, and they started reporting it like when Hope was speaking. So if y'all could just tap the live, give me the 50K, because if not, I'm just gonna go ahead and end the live, because I'd rather not get hit with something, with a ban or anything, especially when I've already been on for like 2 hours. But let me keep going. Let me go up here to, let's see here. Perfume Matrix, go ahead, sis.
I feel like we're all or mostly on the same page regarding what happened, and I do agree with Hope. I think she was very much concerned or with aesthetics, and I feel like that kind of blinded and clouded a lot of her decision making. I don't feel like he was a con man. I feel like he was probably definitely a liar, someone with gambling issues, an addict, and that's what addicts do, they lie. But I think it's just kind of ridiculous that she let it go to the extent that it went on, and then came to TikTok and was going really hard and was trying to be like, he needs to be in jail. And I think that was when I tuned out, and I was like, okay, this is this is crazy. You just extreme lack of accountability. And I'm just astounded on how she's behaved. So that is all.
All right. I got you. I'll just say, I think that, once again, I think that this is a learning lesson or a cautionary tale for any woman that is still out there dating. Y'all said, what's a con man? Somebody that's a shyster, somebody that's going to trick you and lie to you. That's what a con man is. Yeah.
He's definitely a con man. Definitely. 1000%.
Yeah. I think that we could use her, like I said, as a cautionary tale. Just realizing that, number one, being a pick-me is never the way to go. And being so extremely male-centered that the first man that you feel like fits your standards as far as looks go, you just give him the keys to the kingdom and turn off all common sense. And I also think she's a cautionary tale at pedestalizing whiteness, that automatically connecting whiteness to purity and innocence and virtue and he won't do me like this. He won't lie. He won't cheat. He won't steal. He's white. Why would he do that? Honestly, that's an insane way to think in this day and age. I really feel like you can't possibly be connected to your history as a Black person, or even, and I'm not even talking about Black American people. I'm a Black American person, but even as an African person, like she's a Nigerian person, even with your history with colonization and whitey people graping your country of resources and okie doking y'all people down there and paying your people that are in charge of your country with corruption and everything else. I have no idea how you could even pedestalize whiteness. I find it to be very strange, but that is not the way to go. And, just realizing also red flags. If a man is asking you for money, he doesn't like you. If a man is telling you that he's rich and he can do this, that, and the third, but then he's turned around not too long later, he's asking you for some bread, that means he's a liar. That means he's a con artist, period. And if he's not a con artist, then that means that he's either on that stuff, he's on that smack, or either he likes to gamble his money away, and either option is terrible. Okay? So I want Black women for us to realize that we are queens, honestly, and we are deserving of the royal treatment. And we don't have to audition or to convince a man that we are willing to engage in struggle activity to prove our worth to him. Like she was saying, oh, I don't want you to think I'm a gold digger. Oh, I can help you. Oh, I can open up my wallet to you. Oh, I can let you use my debit card and my credit cards. No, 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 no. Because these men don't come to other races of women with the struggle, but they do come to Black women with it. And it is because we have time and time and time again have shown them that we are satisfied with the barest of the bare minimum, and even less if the man is Caucasian. And those are things that cannot be done. Honestly, it's disgusting and repulsive. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying, y'all. Like, we got to stop doing this. Build up your self-esteem and realize that you're the prize. Your presence is the present. Okay? Not him. Okay? Women are the ones that multiply and make everything great and better. Not men. Okay? So please stop acting like this. This is just terrible. Okay? But I'm gonna get out of here, you guys. And in this live, I just want to say I appreciate all of you ladies for coming. I appreciate hearing all of your perspective. Oh, wait, I don't think Simply Karma got to speak before I brought it back up here. Hey, sis, did you have anything to say before I get out of here? Simply?
Yeah, girl, I just wanted to apologize for rambling earlier, girl. I was trying to get so much out at once. But yeah, no, I don't really have too much to add. I mean, you said everything. I just wanted to leave off with just saying that, I definitely wish that a lot more women would um just, do the work, do the self-work, reflect and unpack a lot of the brainwashing or whatever the case may be. Whether if it's lack of literacy, education, whatever, I don't know, because I do feel like a lot of this stuff is layered, and the lack of intelligence definitely is playing a part here. But yeah, like I said, you said it all. I just wish that, like I said, a lot of women just need to unpack the pick-meism, the mamming. If you're not going to do it with the, do all of that with the Black man, you're just going to take it to the next community, just like how you always say on your lives, like, you know don't, the pick-meism, if you're not going to do it for the Black man, you just want to take it over to the white community, the Asian community, the whatever the case may be. And it is setting yourself up for a lot of things, to be abused, used, unalive, just like the situation with Sade Robinson that I believe you mentioned as well. So yeah, ladies definitely gotta smarten up and start making better decisions. But yeah, I'll land there.
All right, I got you. I got you, Simply. It's always good to hear from you. It's always good to hear your voice and your thoughts and stuff like that. So I just want to say once again, y'all, Black women, this is to you specifically across the diaspora. My Black American sisters, you know what I'm saying? My African sisters, my Black British sisters, whoever is listening. You are amazing. You are awesome. You are elegant. You are special. You are deserving of everything and then some. If a man cannot give you all of that, then don't give him none of that. If you got what I'm saying. Let me stop playing. But seriously, you are deserving. You do not deserve the struggle. Do not believe what the world tells you, that a Black woman is only good if she is mammying or in servitude or struggling with somebody. You deserve also to be on the jets. You also deserve to be in the nice car. You also deserve to be taken out to nice dinners and on trips and all of that without you paying for the bill. That just isn't reserved for non-Black women. Okay? I want y'all to know that y'all are amazing. And please do not think that having a man is the end all be all of everything. Okay? Please don't do that, because that's also how you get okie dokes. You are enough. You are enough. For real. Just you. And regardless of whether you're single, you're married, you're partnered, you got kids, whether you don't have kids, whatever the case may be, all I want you to do as a Black woman is to take care of yourself, love on yourself, and live the best life possible for you, where you are happy, healthy, and feeling good, okay? So please remember that, y'all. Love on yourself. Take some time today to love on yourself, all right? I love y'all, for real. Have a great day, black women. And this is only to black women. I'm only saying everybody else, I don't care. All right? Have a great day, black women. Love y'all, black women and black girls, forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever again. All right?